You probably saw my review of Thor, and you probably saw my review of X-Men First Class. And I suppose this time you're expecting the Green Lantern review. Well, here it is. My thoughts on Green Lantern? It was okay. It was okay. It was just an okay film. I think the main problem it had was like it made the trailers and the advertising. It made us want to see something epic. We thought it was going to be a really epic film because, well, the trailers, they had like all this epic orchestra music and well, that's kind of what I mean by the advertising. It just like they had really epic trailers for, well, at least the last ones did. My original idea for like the Green Lantern film, I was a bit skeptical on it because I wasn't really a fan of the DC comics. I'm more of a fan of the Marvel comics. Here's the difference between... Now, this is the difference... Let me just say the difference between the two comic companies. Marvel was more of the one with Spider-Man, X-Men, Captain America, and those type of people. Ones that don't wear capes, but more... And it seems... And the comics are apparently more violent, apparently. DC are more about, like... They're kind of more about, like, the classic superheroes, like Batman, Green Lantern, Superman, Wonder Woman, those kind of people. And apparently, like, those comics, they're a bit more event-like, they're really big stuff. And I really, over the years, I kind of decided that I kind of like both of them equally. But I still prefer Marvel over DC. Because really, I think I prefer watching a film that's more in-depth about superheroes rather than seeing a film that's more about a superhero wearing tights. Yeah. That's kind of what I see DC as. Anyway, back to the film. Green Lantern was an okay film, by my standards. I liked it, even though some people apparently don't like it. One of the things... Yeah, I just really liked Green Lantern. I mean, some people apparently don't like it. I enjoyed it because, well, it's not trying to be something big. It's not trying to make... It's not really trying to advance the... It's not trying to make everything better. It's just, well, a film that I just watched and then I enjoyed and then I probably will forget about it, but I'll just say that I enjoyed having fun with it. It's one of those kind of films that's trying to make you have more fun with it. Now let me get to the part, like, good things I really liked about it and bad things I didn't like about it. Let me start off with, like, the actor for Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds. He was okay. I mean, he's no Christian Bale as Batman or James McAvoy as Professor X. He was just an okay guy. I don't read comics that much, as you probably already know, but I think and I don't know much about, like, the character bio of Green Lantern, but then again, there's supposed to be, like, there's supposed to be a few Green Lanterns, there's, like, more than one, and, yeah. And I thought he did okay. He seemed to be a bit of a nice guy who apparently... But one of the things I really like about him is, like, they say, like... But one thing I thought was really good about him is, like, he did become a bit of a better character. And I think that's because they say that the Green Lantern Corps is made out of species... Well, they're made out of, like, a person... Like, an individual from each species. And they're only selected if they're, like, one without fear. Reynolds' character, named Hal Jordan, his character is played apparently different because he's not fearless. But I think what they do really good with him is, like, he's better than fearless. He's able to overcome the fear. He's brave, and he's pretty much getting braver, and when he does that, he becomes stronger. And I think that's what makes him a pretty good character. But like I said, he's okay. He's not groundbreaking, but he didn't do bad. I mean, he wasn't bad, but he did a good job. Reynolds did a good job. What else? Oh yeah, there was the villain. Now, apparently there were, like, two villains. One, and I'll start with my favourite one. The guy, like, Dr. Hector Hammond. I looked up a bit of Dr. Hammond in Wikipedia. Yeah, you will hear me talk about Wikipedia a lot, believe me. Yeah, the character of Hector Hammond, I wasn't really interested in. Because when I just looked at the Wikipedia page, all I saw was a picture of a man with a big head and said, okay, I'm not interested, I'm not going to take that seriously. But like I said, the advertisement for the film got better, and it made me more interested in his character, because he definitely had that look of wicked. He just had that wicked look in his eye, and that yellow glow in his. That yellow glow was pretty cool. And I think the actor did a really good job, because he starts out as more like a scientist who apparently he's pretty much just like a university scientist. And then he thinks he's put into like this autopsy of this alien that they discovered. Spoilers, I know, but get on with it. Yeah, he's doing an autopsy, and he thinks that it's what's the word? He's really privileged. He seems privileged about him being chosen, and he's honoured. But then he finds out that apparently it was all done because of his father, because his father had connections since he's the senator, and he thinks he doesn't deserve it that way. Somehow but then like his reasons for but then like his character's reasons, the problem with his character is like his reasons for being a bit of a villain and causing all this like trouble, like crime. I don't think it's a very good reason why he's doing this. He's pretty much doing this because he's a bit pissed off that his dad just made him do something that he feels he's doing this because his dad had connections and put him into this thing. I don't think you should and just because you have powers now I don't think that means you should go and kill your dad just because you think you're not honoured to do this. It's a bit extreme, mate. But I thought what made him good was that he seems like a man who didn't know what he was getting himself into. He got these powers in a bit of an accident. He didn't know, because this didn't happen on purpose, and it wasn't a freak accident. It just happened because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not an accident-wise. And it hurts, really, because he has no idea how he might know. My opinion is like he doesn't know how these powers work, and my opinion is like he doesn't know what he's going to use with them. But he's using them he's taking advantage of them in the wrong way. And I think that's one of the things that made this guy really good. I think I prefer the villain over the hero. He was an interesting character, and what I thought made him better was like it's like they showed sometimes these powers can hurt. Like these powers were like kinetic, and boy did it look like it hurt. I mean, like his head had to expand for these powers, and let me tell you, it looked like it hurt, and this guy made it look like it hurt. I mean, he did a good job in showing like it hurt, like he was in pain the whole time. I mean, Jesus, like at one point his head grew and it looked like it was hell. I thought this guy, Peter Sarsgaard, I think his name, I thought he did a very good job as the villain. But then again, I'm not really looking forward to seeing anything else even. I'm not really a fan of him. So yeah, those were some of the things I really liked about the film. What else did I like? Well, I liked the whole idea. Well, I think they did an okay job introducing the whole idea of the Green Lantern Corps to non-viewers of the comics. They did a good job, but not that good. Some things, actually, never mind that. I thought, to me, they did an okay job in introducing the whole thing. They introduced the planet, they introduced characters, some characters who apparently who I think had a fan base in the comics, but apparently didn't get much screen time, and to be honest, I think I'd be more interested in seeing more screen time with them. We had like Jeffrey Rush and Michael Clarke Duncan in there, and they were one of the reasons why I was actually interested in seeing the film, but they didn't do